Hello children, today is the 20th of April. We will begin our lesson. We will revise our material from this unit number 7. So now cross out the words that does not belong. So you should find out the odd one, лишнее слово. Итак, в первой линии доктор, инженер, космонавт. Мы видим слово leader. Здесь у нас лишнее, потому что здесь у нас профессия, слово leader у нас здесь лишнее. Следующую строчку читаем. To build, to spend, to decorate, to design. Лишнее слово здесь to spend, так как у нас это проводить время. Build, decorate, design – это что-то делать, как-то преобразовывать что-то здание, допустим. An astronaut, to treat disease, a surgeon. Лишнее слово an astronaut, потому что здесь все связаны с чем? С больницей, с профессией доктора, врача, лечить заболевания, хирург. Astronaut лишнее. Invent, to develop, to respect, to discover. Лишнее на слово to respect, уважать. Все связаны с каким-то изобретением и развитием, да, invent, изобретать, develop, развивать, discover, открывать. Respect только не относится здесь. Следующее. A house, a ship, tower, building. Все у нас здания, только ship – это лодка лишняя. The moon, century, mission, space. Все связаны с космосом, кроме слова century, век. Давайте проверим. So let's see. Yes, we do it correctly. So now how many words can you make? How many words? Use these words in suffixes from the box. Например, act, actor. Write which part of speech you have. И какие части речи у нас получится. Например, act, action, да, существительное действие. Act, actor, актер тоже существительное. Поехали. Hero, heroic, да, героичный. Science, scientific, да, либо science, scientist, да, если ученый, существительное. А scientific какой? Invention, изобретение. Inventor, изобретатель. Beauty, beautiful, красивый прилагательное. Collect, collection, да, коллекция. Или collector, который собирает что-то, да. So here you can see this word: an actor, heroic, scientific, scientist, inventor, invention, beautiful, collector, collection. Далее. Our task is to read this text about the organization Doctors Without Borders, да, доктора без границ, и, соответственно, выбрать подходящие вырезанные части слова. Try to do it yourself. Давайте попробуйте сделать это сами, а мы с вами проверим сейчас. So, let's check. Давайте проверять. So, I'm proud of my grandfather. He is a doctor and works for the Doctors Without Borders organization. He goes to dangerous areas to treat, да, лечить, не change, менять, не teach, лечить, а именно treat, лечить people. I know that my grandfather helped many people in trouble, да, в беде. Help people in trouble. He got an order for his plan, knowledge или courage. Естественно, слово courage, да, за свою смелость. Так. He is the first at his hospital. He is the first to win a gold medal, to get an order, to set a record. Yes, it's the correct option, to get an order. Да, to get an order. Инфинитивная конструкция у нас получилась, да? He is the first to get an order at his hospital. My grandpa was a skillful doctor and he a new medicine which helps to treat serious. Два слова у нас пропущено. Итак, number 5. Invented. Да, invented, изобрел новое лекарство. Which helps to treat serious что? Diseases, заболевания. Okay, next. My brother wants to be, смотрим, be, wants to be an astronaut, да, перед названием профессии ставим артикль неопределенный либо n, так как начинается на гласную, поэтому n. His ambition is to go to, куда? Is to go to space, да, в космос, astronaut. And my brother is a pupil ambitions, да, whose ambitions make him study better and better. He studies well, and he is the leader of his class, да, определенный человек, он лидер в своем классе. Next. So, what is George Washington famous for? Filling the gaps, choosing the correct word in brackets. Let's start. Do it. Try to do it yourself, and we will check. Choose the correct answer. So, it is articles, who or whose, or correct profession or correct form. So, let's check. So, George Washington is one of the most famous American who, not whose, because we have verb, да, потому что глагол у нас здесь идет. Because who lived and worked in the 18th century, да, 18 веке. Не году, а веке. George Washington was a military leader, да, лидер. During the American Revolution, he was the first person to become, инфинитивная конструкция. He was the first person to become. Далее, number 5, without an article, потому что человек этот добыл, да, сам этот звание. President of the United States, and he understood how hard his work could be. George Washington was the person whose ideas and actions helped to build a new country. Существительное у нас, поэтому слово whose ideas. И, соответственно, which здесь у нас не могут, потому что говорим о человеке, person, одушевленное. Так, new country. That's why he's often called the father of the country. Да, это у нас кличка. He didn't want his country to be involved in any war because a new country needed what? Peace, да? Мир. George Washington is commemorated in the name of the US capital, in statues in the USA and some other countries, on a dollar banknotes and coins, да? То есть его чтят память вот таким вот образом. So now, you will hear the story of Neil Armstrong. Listen to the recording. For question 1 to 8, complete the missing information. You'll hear the recording twice. So here you can see the sentences. Your task is to complete these sentences with the information that you hear from this task. So,
Lesson 8. Test yourself. Listening comprehension.
Activity book. Exercise 1, page 100. You will hear the story of Neil Armstrong. Listen to the recording. For questions 1 to 8, complete the missing information. You will hear the recording twice.
So before we have some minutes, let's read the sentences. Neil Armstrong, an American astronaut, was born in the year of, год рождения, year of. He went to university in, место, куда? Neil Armstrong was in his family to go to university. Тут у нас фраза, да? The first, the second, or the only, the last. After the university, he served as a profession. In 1962, Armstrong joined the group he took part in. Ну и слушаем дальше.
Neil Armstrong was born on the 5th of August 1930 in Ohio, the USA. When he was a child, his family moved around the state and lived for a short period of time in 20 towns. Armstrong started studying at the university in 1947. He was only the second person in his family to go to university. After 4 years of successful study, Armstrong started serving in the United States Navy. He served as a pilot. One day he read an advertisement that they were looking for specialists for the second group of astronauts. Armstrong tried and in 1962 became one of the group. Armstrong took part in 2 space missions. First, he went to space in 1966, but the second mission made Armstrong famous all over the world. It was a mission to the moon. The aim of the mission was to land the moon safely. The whole world watched the TV program which showed
Okay, so I hope that you listen this text. Let's answer. So Neil Armstrong, an American astronaut, was born in the year of 1930. He went to university in 1947. Neil Armstrong was only the second person in his family to go to university. After the university, he served as a pilot. In 1962, Armstrong joined the group of astronauts. He took part in the moon mission. That mission made Armstrong famous all over the world. The moon mission made him famous. Okay, let's read a story about the life of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. According to the text, make the statements true or false. So I'll pause the video, read this text. I hope that you read it, and then let's try to do it. So here you can see the sentences. Let's read and say true it or false. Roosevelt's grandparents were born in the USA. It is false. So look at this text more detailed. So his grandparents were born in the USA. Okay, let's find it. England and Denmark. Да, это у нас false. Roosevelt's mother taught him to read and write. This is true. Franklin Roosevelt studied at very good universities. This is true. Franklin Delano Roosevelt became president when the life in the country was very difficult. It's also true. Franklin Roosevelt was very popular because he took part in many charity organizations. It's not true. Find out it. The New Deal changes the country. This is true. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was seriously ill. This is true. And Franklin Roosevelt became president 3 times. This is false. Okay, now here you can see some sentences. Your task is to find which is incorrect, какие неправильные предложения, и их исправить. Итак, so let's start with number 1. John Field was a popular Irish musician who's lived in Russia. So the correct variant is who, not whose, because of verb. German Titov was the second Russian cosmonaut to fly to space. Was the second to fly to space. Francis Gardner was an Englishman who started one of the best Russians China factories. Let's find these have no mistakes. Francis Ford Coppola is an American filmmaker that films whose films are very popular all over the world. Queen Victoria was the only British monarch to become queen at the age of 18. Author Conan Doyle was a popular writer whose books are read and loved all over the world. Whose books? I hope that you cope with this task. So, in the last task, you should read and choose the correct answers. So here are the answers. I hope that you cope with this task. I think that it's not very difficult to you. So, and your home task for the next lesson, your task to do project. Давайте возьмем так. На следующий урок в течение недели мы делаем проект. В течение недели. За один урок вы явно не успеете до вторника, поэтому делаем на протяжении всей недели и, надеюсь, к пятнице вы мне его отправите. So, let's read the good themes of this project. Great people of my country. Великие люди моей страны. Choose a persons you admire. Выбираем человека либо людей, которыми вы восхищаетесь в своей стране. Видите, my country. И ищем информацию об этих людях, жизни их, этих людей, либо достижениях их, соответственно, иллюстрируем. Проект номер 2. People of my region we are proud of. Здесь уже немножечко ограничиваем. Люди, которыми я горжусь, но в моей области. Выбираем человека, находим информацию о личной жизни и достижениях, иллюстрируем. И последнее, my hero, мой герой. Описываем своего героя, говорим, почему он для вас, он либо она является образцом для подражания, и иллюстрируем свою историю. So, I hope you all like our lesson. See you next time. Goodbye.